Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be doing float training with Todd. I'm currently in my float, as you can see. Good old float. My mum is currently filming me, so mum, say hi.
Hello.
Did you get your hand in that?
Yeah, I was saying hello.
Okay, anyway. The horses are over there. Swing it to the horses. Not that slow. They're wanting to go somewhere. They think they're going out, but they're really not.
They're excited to go on the float. They want to go. Come on, pick me, pick me. Yeah, pick me. Oh, no.
Anyway, so we're not going to start with the float first though. We're going to do a pretend float and work our way up to the actual float.
The disclaimer is, make sure your float is attached to your vehicle. If you're going,
show them the vehicle.
I am, but I don't want the license plate.
Getting tired of waiting.
Yep, and also
make sure your floor is intact so you don't fall through it.
And it is structurally sound.
And it's got a warrant and red Joe.
And also that your horse knows what they're doing, or the handler, so that you're not putting yourself in an unsafe situation. If in any doubt, consult a professional. It's a serious matter.
It is.
You do not want to get hurt float training.
This is an enclosed space. If the horse does something while you're in here, you're not going to be able to go anywhere because there's a wall.
No. So you want both horse and handler to be safe.
Yeah. Consult
a professional if needed. This is just our view on float training.
Yes. Right,
we are not professionals.
Well, we kind of are. Right, come on. Okay, so in order to do this float training exercise, you need 2 barrels and 2 poles. And as long as you've got that, then you're all sorted. You also need a horse. So if you don't have a horse, you can't do it, obviously. And you need halter and lead rope and a carrot stick. You can also use like a lunge whip or a dressage whip. You just need an extension of your arm, basically. And that's it. Just number one thing's a horse.
Go-go gadget arm. Okay, got it.
It's not a go-go gadget.
And a 4-legged creature. Tick. Tick, tick.
Okay, anyway, so this is our pretend float. It probably doesn't look like a float, but that's because it's not supposed to be a float, but it's a pretend float. We begin with the horse. So, the whole point of this exercise is to practice sending the horse into the float instead of leading them in. Because normally people will just lead the horse in the float, but if you're in the float while doing that, it's not that safe, especially if you're standing in front of them, because if they get a fright, they could easily run into you. So, not the best idea to be doing that. So you want to stay outside the float and send them in.
Okay, show us how you were taught to send the horse into this pretend float. Actually, this float here is a lot cheaper than a real float. I wish all floats were that cheap.
What?
I wish all floats cost that much.
Everything out of there is free. We've got barrels for free. So you send them in, right? So this was where the ramp would be, right? So I'd still be outside the float. Now he's in the float, right? And you can come up, put the lead rope on their back or tie them up. I don't have anything to tie them up to, obviously. You can't actually catch him, but he likes to play with the barrels, so just ignore that. Then you can come down, so this would be the other horse would be, right? So you're in a safe spot here.
Which side of the horse, which side of the float do you put the heaviest horse on?
You want to put the horse on the inside of the road. so they're not on the outside of the road when they're travelling, because otherwise it's more likely to tip since the road's on an angle like this. We're going to put the heaviest horse on the inside of the road.
So the heaviest horse goes closest to the middle line.
Which would be in New Zealand the right side, but in America and any other country they drive on this other side of the road, would be on the left side.
Yes,
Yeah.
because of the way the camber is on the road.
Yeah.
And the weight distribution. Right, got it.
So this is the right side of the float, this is the left where I'm standing, where another horse would go.
Smaller horse. Yep.
And so then you would come around to do the bum bar up, but you don't want to reach like this.
No.
Because you're in the kicking zone. So what you want to do is pat your horse in the bum, let them know you're here, and you reach with this hand and grab the bum bar because you're still standing here.
Yes.
So you grab the bum bar, do it up, and your horse is in the float.
Yes.
Problem solved.
Yes. And do you have to be extra quiet and secret squirrel?
No.
Or is it okay to cling and bang a wee bit?
It's okay to cling and bang a wee bit, because otherwise if you're being really quiet, the day that it does make a noise, the horse will get a fright.
Okay,
So
so
you don't want that to
it's
happen.
good for them to be used to a wee bit of noise, of the normal noise of the clanging. Okay,
Yes.
right.
Yeah.
And how would you send him out of the float? So now you've got to get him out.
So
you've travelled to your destination.
yeah, you travel to your destination. You stand where the other horse would be, and then you just ask them to come out of the float, just like this. You can do it multiple different ways. You could do.
Don't forget to undo the bum bar.
Yeah, well, you undo the bum bar. I just forgot about that. But you know, there's no bum bar.
Undo the imaginary bum bar, and then you're ready to go.
You can do this method where you ask them back this way,
Yes.
or you can do this method, works as well most of the time. You do a bit more energy and ask them out. Another, he wants to go in again.
He wants to go somewhere. He's quite keen on this grass-lined float.
So another thing is one of the main problems why horses rush out the float is because they've been taught as soon as they get on the ramp they can go out to the side. So in order to stop them rushing off the float, when they get off the ramp you want to keep backing them up like a few more metres, probably like another 5 metres, so that they know once they're off the ramp they still have to go backwards, and then you don't get them rushing off the float, chucking their head up and all that.
And no slipping off the sides and cutting themselves.
Yes.
Right.
So that fixes that problem.
So you want them to be nice and controlled coming all the way off the ramp as well as out of the float.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else to add? What happens if your horse tries to put his shoulder out and duck out the float as you go up the ramp and he tries to come off the ramp?
You have to block their shoulder by creating energy at their shoulder and blocking them. So you can, like if they're pushing your head into you, you can wave your hand and ask them to take their head out of space. Or you can wave the stick and push them back over. Well, not push them, but like use your energy to ask them back over.
Yes.
You
Okay.
can do the same thing with your butt as well. You can ask your butt to go away.
Okay, so yep.
Yeah.
Good. Anything else to add?
No, I think that's about it for the pretend float.
Okay. Thank you, pretend float. Come again.
Okay, so now we have the float here, as you can see.
Attached to the car. Yes.
Yep. So, as we said in the start of the video, make sure you have the car attached. Make sure the floor is intact, and make sure your float is up with its warranty rego.
Yes.
Whatever that is, I don't actually know.
Well, it just makes it roadworthy. Yes.
Okay, roadworthy, yeah, so pretty much making sure it's all good for horses to go in it. Todd knows how to go on a float, obviously, but if you have a horse who doesn't like the float, or one you're only teaching to go on the float, what you do is you just walk them up to it, let them have a little sniff, and eat it if they want to. He uses his mouth a lot, so he'll probably eat it. Yeah, that's just a random thing he does. All the fantails can interrupt again. And so you just ask him to sniff it and just look up to it. And then you can take them away if they need a break. But if you don't need a break, you just ask them to put one foot on the ramp and then take them away for a break. The breaks are good because it lets them process what's just happened so that they can release like that. So yeah, and then you just keep asking them to go more and more in the float until they're in the float pretty much. But you want to make sure you give them enough breaks.
He's wanting to go. He wants to go.
So you just let them sniff. Don't really want them to eat though. You just let him sniff it. He was investigating. Now it's been cleaned since last time he's been in it. But so we can smell the water. You don't want them to be snacking though. And then you can ask for just 1 foot. He's going to go in probably because he's really good at it.
Now is not the time to snack.
No. So you can just let him have a little sniff again. And you want to make sure that if you have a horse who doesn't know how to go on a float, that you make sure you give them rewards for even trying, because some horses, they'll give you a try to put a foot on the ramp, but they won't always do it first time. So you want to make sure you acknowledge the trying and reward them for that.
And if they only get 1 or 2 feet on the first time, that's awesome.
Todd don't move the petition again.
When you're training the float training, you don't have to get all the way in on the first try.
No, it takes multiple days and multiple hours if the horse doesn't know how to do it. So you just want to sit and have a look, have a little look at everything. Just playing with the petition, you can ask him if you want. And he goes. Right, so now he's in, you still have the rope, so now you can come in and move the petition. They come out, you just ask them back in, no big deal. So you come up, you give them lots of pats, and can you still see in here? It's quite dark in here. So when you're just teaching them how to go in the float, once you have done all the steps to get them in the float and they're in here, you want to make sure that you don't just get them in and then put them out again. You want to make sure you spend a little bit of time in here, just giving them pats to make sure they're nice and relaxed, and just giving them a moment just to chill out, and like we just hang out in the float for like 5 minutes or so. And Todd's probably going to fall asleep in here, but so you just want to make sure you give them time just to sit in here if you don't comfortable with the float, and you give them nicer cuddles. And then if they go out again, you can just ask them to go back forward. And yeah, so when you're gonna go somewhere, you can still see, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. You come down to their bum. Sometimes horses will come out since you're going to the back, but you just want to come down and pat them on their bum so that you know that you're here.
Yeah.
And then you grab the bum bar. Notice how I'm not in the kicking zone, I'm still next to him. And then you clip the bum bar onto there. It's different in every float, but that's when you clip it on there. Right, so now he's in the float.
He is in the float.
He is in the float, as
And
you can see.
Yeah.
Right?
Mission accomplished.
And how many seconds was that?
I don't know.
Probably about 9.
But
That's usually how long it
his
takes.
quickest one is about 9.
Yeah, 9 seconds.
But we did stop to chat.
Yeah, we did. That's usually how long it takes them, because normally I just ask them straight on, it'll go in. But I stopped just to explain a bit more. But so you know, he's in the float.
He's
Don't poop in the float.
he's gonna
box.
poop just so you have to
Don't do
clean it. Tired.
So now pretend we've gone somewhere.
Yep.
And we're here, right? Just put the ramp down. What's the first thing you do?
Put the ramp down.
You put the ramp down. Otherwise, because they're not goats, they can't go through a wall. And then we undo the bum bar.
Undo the bum bar.
Making sure to stand here.
It's a lot easier to remember when it's not imaginary.
It is. So unclip it.
Yeah.
Making sure you're still not in the kick zone. Now you can drop this, you don't have to put it.
And that's the kind of clatter that you should be used to.
Yeah, also this noise.
Yep.
Repetition moves.
Yep.
So obviously that has no effect on Todd because he's used to it. But
He's gonna start walking out on his own.
yeah, he knows the drill. So If your horse like instantly backs out as soon as you put the bum bar down, you just let them sit in here for a bit more. So they know as soon as the bum bar comes down that it's not time to get out. You've got to wait until you ask them to come out. So then you grab the lead rope and you ask them to back out.
Let me just get out the way. Hang on.
Good boy. And then once you're off the ramp, you want to back them up a bit further. Like that. So you're normally about that far away from the ramp. You can go as far as you want, really, but and then I'll just let them have a snack like explain. But so that's what you want to do. So as soon as these front feet come off the ramp, you don't want to just let them go anywhere and duck out the side, because that will teach them to run off, and that's when you have all types of injuries. Not only to the horse but also to the handler, so you don't want to do that. Come over here, mister. So that's pretty much it, really.
Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any more questions about float training or anything else, just leave them in the comments and I'll make sure to answer them as best as I can. So I hope you enjoyed this video and we'll see you in the next one. Bye!